Hey guys, this is Anne Marie, the Anti-HR HR lady, and today I want to talk about family medical leave and 3 ways that employers abuse employee rights relevant to family medical leave. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what FMLA is. FMLA refers to the Family Medical Leave Act of 1993. FMLA allows eligible employees to take job protected leave for qualified medical and family reasons. Reasons can be birth of a child, illness of a family member, depending on who the family member is, and serious illness of the employee themselves. FMLA was created to provide very clear job protection safeguards for eligible employees, but yet employers are still finding a way to abuse the law and abuse employees in the process. In this video, let's take a look at 3 ways, common ways, that employers take advantage of employees' lack of knowledge about FMLA and their rights to abuse FMLA leave and to abuse employees who take or seek to take FMLA. The first way that employers abuse FMLA is by denying employees their FMLA leave when they request it. Because this is a federal law, every employer that falls under the law, usually employers that have 50 or more employees, are required to have a policy about FMLA in the form of usually a poster prominently somewhere in the office where employees can see it so employees are aware of their rights. The next thing is that there are very specific qualifications, as I noted, in other words, reasons for why a person should be applying and asking for FMLA leave. But once they meet those requirements under the law, they are supposed to follow the employer's process for requesting FMLA, and the employer is expected to approve it. But yet, in many instances, employers are violating this requirement by giving blanket refusals to allow employees to take FMLA leave when they request it. This could be illegal, and it could also violate the written employer policies. So this is something that you should red flag if you notice that your employer has a general rule of rejecting requests for FMLA, even though in fact they're required by law to allow employees to take it if they are eligible and are asking for it based on a qualifying reason, such as serious illness, care for a family member, and family members are defined in the law, as well as birth of a child. The second way that employers can abuse and even violate the FMLA laws is by probing too much and being too invasive with employees about the reason why they need to take the FMLA. The provisions of the law are very clear about what the qualifiers are and why an employee should be taking it. And if an employee meets those requirements, employers should not be asking for a whole lot of proof or additional information to approve the leave. Policy should be very clear about what employees need to present in order to take their FMLA leave, and once they present it, their leave should generally be approved. So if you find that your employer is getting way too far into your business when you ask for FMLA, that's also a red flag that you should be concerned about and may even need to raise with your HR department. There are also protections around your health information in your workplace. So especially if your leave is around and because of a health reason, employers should not be too invasive in terms of asking for information from you beyond what the requirements are for them to determine whether or not they can approve your leave. So watch out for that if your employer is being too invasive and asking too many questions relevant to approving an FMLA request. The third way that employers misuse and abuse FMLA and employees who ask for FMLA, and the most problematic way, is when employers retaliate against employees when they request FMLA or upon their return from FMLA. And this is becoming a huge issue. I have had multiple people come to me in the last 3 months since this year began, raising issues around discriminatory, toxic, and hostile work environments that have implicated FMLA violations. And some of them have come knowing that their employers were violating FMLA, and some of them just mentioned it at offhand, not realizing that their employer was violating likely company policy as well as the law by allowing a manager to retaliate against them for taking FMLA or for asking for FMLA. Let me be very clear. If you apply your company's policy for requesting FMLA and it is approved, your manager cannot and should not try to put you on a PIP, try to demote you when you come back, not give you the same job that you had or comparable job with comparable pay when you return, make offhanded comments and bully you when you return. None of these things are allowed and are violations. Please understand that. They are not supposed to do that. And doing so may not only implicate the federal law, it likely violates their own company policies about FMLA. Please also understand that a lot of jurisdictions have both state FMLA provisions and local FMLA provisions. If, for example, if you live in a county, your county might have a law, then the state might have a law, and the federal government also has a law, and the state and the federal and local usually may not be exactly the same, but they all basically roll up into each other. So your employer may not just be violating federal law, they may be violating both state and local law. And there's a lot of retaliation that a lot of employers through their management are engaging in to try to either discourage employees from taking FMLA at all, which seems to be the goal, or allowing managers to harass and bully employees after they have returned from FMLA or upon requesting FMLA. And I want to be clear that if this is happening to you in your workplace, you have a right to raise this as a concern, and you could use it as the grounds to request a negotiated separation with severance and get the hell up out of that workplace because they're in violation of the law and what they're doing is illegal. They are not allowed to do this. And too many of them are apparently doing it through their ignorant managers who either don't know the law or just don't care and are resentful of the fact that people have the audacity to take the leave that the law says they have a right to take. Now, couple clarifying things about FMLA. Your employer does not have to pay you for it. It is unpaid leave. Some employers do in fact pay for some of it. Sometimes they'll let you take disability leave, short-term disability leave as part of your FMLA. But the bottom line that you need to understand is the minimum has to be that they allow you to take it for the period of time related to the provisions of the law, and this is not legal advice, so I'm not getting into all the intricacies of the law, but they're required to comply with the law, allow you unpaid leave for qualifying events, such as medical, illness relevant to you or a close family member, or the birth of a child, right? And so they don't get to say you can't have it if you qualify, and they don't get to harass you, bully you, or retaliate against you after you take it or upon you asking for it. So I want you to understand that if this is happening, you have rights and you have a right to raise those rights and exercise those rights. And if you challenge them and they try to put you on a PIP, you have claims. So don't just let them roll over you when it comes to taking your FMLA. You have a right to take it if you need it and you need it for a qualifying reason, take it. If you're having problems with an employer who's trying to mess with you because you have either taken it or requested it, please visit my website and book a discovery call, or consider taking my online course, How to Request an Exit from a Discriminatory Hostile Work Environment and Actually Get It, so that you understand how to raise your concerns and how to take raising of those concerns all the way from communication to requesting a negotiated separation with severance. If you're in a workplace that you don't even like anyway, and on top of that, this is what they're doing, this may be an easy way for you to cash out because they are violating law if they are retaliating against you and engaging in harassment and bullying against you because you requested FMLA and took it. It is your legal right to take it, and they don't get to harass and bully you for taking it. So I really hope that this video has been helpful in terms of shining some light on 3 ways that employers in the United States are misusing and misabusing employees when it comes to Family Medical Leave Act leave, and that you better have an understanding of how this is supposed to work so that if your company is violating this in any way, you know what you can do. This is Anne Marie, the anti-HR HR lady. HR is not your enemy, but they're definitely not your friend, but I am. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.